Hello, lovely crafty friends. Welcome to the Wild Embossing channel. It's Sasha here with another episode of Card Maker's Delight. So, today we're going to be looking at how we can alter our stamps and stencils using our powders to create these really cool wobbly bubbly effects. So, let's get started. Okay, so we'll start with the 5x7 panel of Wild Embossing Superior Cardstock. Then I'm just grabbing a square mask from Claremont Creative and securing it down with some tape. I'll be using squeezed lemonade, cracked pistachio, and spiced marmalade distress oxide. So I'll start with my cracked pistachio and I'll just be using the edge to swing some of that color onto the panel, and then I will grab my spice marmalade blending brush and I'll add these stroke like motions. I don't really know how to describe this. Let's just say these like thunder things. I'll come in with my squeezed lemonade to fill in all the empty spaces, and then I'll finish off with a blended layer of some cracked pistachio over the top, and this is just to add back some of that color we might have lost. So once this is all done, you can peel off your mask and just breathe in that satisfaction. Just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of masking, but don't take too long, okay? Because you do need to add some clear embossing powder over that ink before it dries up. And then we're going to go ahead and heat emboss all of that. It doesn't really matter if some of the areas didn't get embossed because you're going to put your mask back on, not the face one, so don't panic. Okay, and grab your Wow Embossing ink pad to get that area nicely inked up. Go ahead and add your clear embossing powder and heat emboss that. So this is your second layer of clear embossing, and when it's done you get this super glossy area of like trapped ink. It is so beautiful. I'm not really showing it well here, but just keep watching, you'll see later on, okay? So I'll be using this Claire Manning Happy Everything stamp. You can use any large word stamp that you might have. And guys, my stamping platform is like so embarrassingly dirty. So I'm just going to do this bit super quick. But what you want to do is stamp your stamp using your embossing ink, and then you're going to cover that in metallic gold embossing powder and heat emboss it as you normally would. You could leave it here, this is perfectly fine, but we're going to step it up a notch. So what you want to do is add heat to that same embossing until you start to see the letters melt, and then you're just going to use your heating tool to move those letters around and really like mold them into the shape that you want. So what's happening is that the gold embossing powder is sliding on the clear embossing powder, and that's what's giving us this cool effect. We are literally doing physics, guys, okay? Right now, this is physics. This is what it looks like thus far. It doesn't really look like anything yet, but that gloss don't lie, okay? The gloss is like so captivating. We're not finished, don't worry. I'm just using the Wild Embossing Lotsabubbles stencil, making sure not to ink over my letters. If you do, just grab a paintbrush and remove the embossing powder off those letters, and then you're going to heat emboss all those bubbles and of course melt them further to get that wobbly effect. Like guys, just imagine this as like an underwater card or a space card even, or like a monster card. This could be like really cool for Halloween. You can really stretch your imagination with this one and just have fun, guys. Don't be limited to just these shapes that I'm using or this kind of stamp. I'm not gonna lie, okay, it's looking like a hot mess, but do not stop the video, okay? We're gonna fix it with our magic Posca pen. Just take your Posca pen or any white acrylic marker pen and draw an outline around your shapes. So wherever you see a shape, just draw around it, whether it's a circle, a wobbly circle, an oval, just draw around it. And this is actually so relaxing. You can really get lost in those bubbles. Like, just don't do this till it's like the pick up time for the kids. Don't do that. So anyway, when it comes to the letters, because I'm definitely no hand lettering expert, but I wanted to have like these bubble letters. So all I'm doing is just making sure that my edges are rounded, like where there'd be a corner in the shape, it's rounded, just to maintain that whole bubbly effect. I'm really not an expert, guys. I just looked it up on Pinterest and I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool lettering effect. Let's see if we can do that with our embossing powders. And it turns out we can. So okay, I'm just going back in to add a bit of like shadow to some of my letters, because this will really define those letters. It will really just give them that extra bit of oomph. And once I'm happy with how that is looking, I'm going to go ahead and just add these extra details onto my letters. You don't have to, but I just thought they looked a bit plain, so I'm just adding like these lines and these inverted comma shapes. I don't really know what to call them, guys, but so once that's done, I liked how it looked. You can definitely leave it here, but I thought I wanted it to look extra bubbly, so I went ahead and added like these small bubbles everywhere. I just, yeah, I went a bit crazy, but I really like the effect that it gave it. Like, I feel like it really sort of made it look extra poppy and bubbly. Guys, this is our finished product, and as you can see, it looks like it walked straight out of an art TikTok. So to turn this into a card, I trimmed off 1/2 centimeter off each side, and then I took a 5 by 7 inch panel of red card and I glued my panel onto that. Then I added some foam tape to the back of all of that before sticking it onto a 5 by 7 card base. I printed out some sentiments of my label maker, and then I used some of Lucy's gems just to add sparkle, because sparkle is gender neutral, okay? I cannot make a card without sparkle. So this is how the card looks when it's finished. Guys, you really have to try this so that you can see how beautiful it is in real life. All that gloss and all the shiny layers is just really so pretty, and I think the person who receives it will definitely be surprised, because it is out of the box thinking, and it's a fun way to like stretch your supplies. You don't really have to buy Father's Day supplies, just use what you have and think outside the box. This is one I did earlier, and I used a gold matte layer so that you can see that just in case you don't like this color palette, you can try and use a different color palette for a different look, I think. And then this one is a funny one for those dads with a good sense of humor. It says Happy Father's Day. And you can see the gust bubbles there, like fart, fart bubbles. I love it, and you can find that on my reels. And then this one here, I made it to look like a graffiti wall for those cool dude millennial type dads, you know. I don't know, but you can find this on the Wow Embossing blog. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please be back next time so that we can make some fun backgrounds with this technique. And also don't leave without subscribing to the channel, please. And like this video as well, and share it with other people who might like this, who need ideas for Father's Day. Check out all the social media pages for Wow Embossing, and I'll see you next time.